Hey,
Week 10.
week 10.
So today we're gonna talk about. We talked about the book launch last week and how quick he got out the hospital because he wanted to do the book launch
Right.
and speak at the book launch, and he wasn't ready. We talked about paranoia the week prior. So at this point, nothing was fixed. He was still very, very paranoid.
Very paranoid.
I mean,
Paranoia is, this is some difficult stuff to deal with. Now, this is for real. Like, man, I remember getting out that hospital. I was so paranoid in the hospital.
yes.
I'm talking about, man, I thought the patients was the FBI. I thought all type of stuff, man. I was really out of it. And then when I got out, I just was worrying about the book launch. I'm like, man, I'm in this hospital. I want to get out so I can, like she said, I want to speak. But when I got out, I was still paranoid.
I was not ready.
I wasn't ready. But I did do the book launch, like we said in the last
And it
video.
was a great turnout.
It was a good turnout.
It was good, but
It
he
was.
wasn't ready.
Nope.
I only knew what was really going on. He couldn't sleep. He wasn't sleeping. That's a sign.
Couldn't sleep at all.
He was not sleeping.
Paranoid out of my mind.
Paranoid.
I didn't even trust her. I thought she
Like me. Like how you know? Like you watched the series that we got, and you don't trust me.
What series?
The series we got. This is a series.
Oh, you talking about what we doing?
Yeah.
I didn't trust you then.
I'm saying my point is saying how I've been there.
No, yeah. I still didn't trust you.
I know that's my point.
Oh, that's the point
Like,
you
it don't
make.
matter who you are.
Right, it don't. Anybody is a op. And she was a op.
So
I thought my mama was hooked up with the FBI.
So
The FBI need to come and apologize to me. Maybe that'll help me.
wow, really, you showing all your
No, because let me tell you something. I remember watching TV, right? It was a FBI show or something, and I thought the TV was talking to me. I'm gonna be for real. Let's just be for real.
I know. I know.
I thought.
Y'all don't know. I know.
Listen, I thought I was getting messages from the TV. So say for example, if a commercial come on, and I think it had something to do with me, I'll be like, oh man, they put that on there for me to watch it.
Yes, this is real. This is for real.
So here it is. They put this. I don't know what it was. Like one time, the Bible popped up on there, and there's a scriptures, and the guy was reading. His name was Les Feldick. I never heard of this guy, but when he was reading the Bible and talking, I thought the FBI put his show on my TV so I could watch it. That's what I was thinking. So boom, I'm listening to the man preach. I was like,
Every day though.
I was listening to him every day. But check this out. This is what I want to say. I watched this other show. And see, this stuff was just popping up on my TV. I wasn't even turning it on. So they had this FBI show. This one guy was in the military, and he got discharged for having issues like psychiatric issues. But then he tried to come to the FBI and apply and get a job, and they said they had to run his background. But when they didn't want to hire him, but when it came down to it, they apologized to him and they let him come on to the force. So I thought, man, you know what? They kicked me out the Air Force. This is their way of saying they apologize. So then it was a quick little segment. The head FBI agent said, we're sorry. And I said, oh man, they telling me they sorry. In those paranoid states, I don't know why it's like that, but you think messages come to you.
It's real.
And it's really hard for me being a spiritual man, because you know how you have discernment. Discernment means like you have this strong feeling about something that you don't really have confirmation about, but you have the feeling anyway, and you have the thoughts about it, and you may know something before somebody tell you, or you might know something before it happens, that type of thing. Well, the paranoia, to me, I feel that challenges the discernment, because you don't even know what's real. You don't even know, how do you trust if your wife is really with you or against you. That's affecting your discernment. That's affecting your way of processing information. So when I got out the hospital, I'm fully paranoid. And then we had to go to Tyler's graduation.
That's our 15-year-old now. At the moment, at the time,
Talk
he was
up.
graduating out of 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So, my job that day. Whew. So, graduation day. Still the same state. This is only a couple days later. This is like Monday. Actually, this is Monday. Shut up.
I'm going to give them the dates. They don't know about the dates.
This is that Monday.
They don't know. They don't. They clueless.
Saturday was a book launch. This is Monday. He hates that. I think he wished that he could be like me.
I don't want that. I don't want to be like that.
Yes,
No,
you do.
it was Sunday. It was Saturday, Monday.
So this is,
They not following it. These people ain't following that.
okay. So the book launch, I'm telling you how close it was. Like how off he still was. This is only like book launch was Saturday. Monday was the graduation. So the graduation wasn't until the evening. So
Did you have to say that?
yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Why would you? Don't I let you be you?
No, go ahead. It was the evening. You gotta get the time of the day.
Yes, the graduation was at.
That's why I think you FBI. Because they detail
No.
everything.
Okay. So this was in the evening, and that day he was kind of resting, trying to rest, but he wasn't sleeping well. So the people was still outside our house doing the construction.
Y'all, she told y'all about the construction people. I thought they was FBI.
So
And wait, let me tell you something. So Shauna and I was arguing.
yeah.
So check this out. Now y'all tell me what this was. For real. Tell me what y'all think. Me and Shauna arguing. I had some boxes, I think books or something in the car. I take the books out the
Because
car.
at this moment, let's go back. At these moments when he's paranoid, he's angry.
I get angry
He's
and paranoid.
Angry and paranoid. So he's not easy to be with, live with, be with in those
Oh,
moments.
she's just saying that because she was ready to kick me out.
So in those moments,
so we
no,
arguing.
let me tell you. So in those moments, everything he's agitated because he want to know what's real and what's not. So it's hard. It's best not to say nothing in those moments because he's just irritated and what he's saying is not real. Like what he's saying
It's real to me.
No, what I'm
It ain't
saying,
real
I'm not
to
saying
you.
that. I'm saying what you're saying, what you're angry about is not what you're really angry about. What he's angry about is when he can't figure out what's real, what's not.
Right.
But the little things that he's mad about are not for real. So it took me time to learn that it's gonna pass. So I shouldn't have been arguing with him because at that moment he wasn't in his right
Well,
state of mind.
at that particular time, I don't think you had the knowledge that you.
No, I didn't. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like we were arguing, and it was so stupid. Like it was just stupid. So
Yeah. So anyway, let me finish my story. So we arguing. Shauna, we was finna break up, I think, or something happened. We was talking about breaking up. Then I grabbed my stuff out the car. She walked back to the car briskly, and then these construction workers who are next door, they're just watching, I'm assuming. So I go sit on the porch, I'm pissed off, and I see a gentleman in whom I actually questioned previously in terms of who he was. I looked at him, he was inspecting some things.
but you would talk to them.
So I did talk to him. See, this is the thing. I only talk to people sometimes just to get some type of discernment on who they are. So if I talk to you and you give me some type of vibe, I can figure out like, okay, maybe yes or maybe no. But in this instance, I talked to this white gentleman and I said, you must be an inspector. He was like, yeah, something like that. So that same guy, when me and Shauna was arguing, was sitting in a car that looks like a police car, an older detective car in the middle of the street. He tapped, now see, let me tell y'all something, because y'all don't know this. For real, only people who paranoid probably know this. When you're paranoid, your senses are heightened, meaning you pay attention, you can see everything. Like your visual, like your senses, it's like you catch everything. You can see everything, you watching everything. So I'm paranoid, so I saw him tap on the top of his car, and when he tapped on the top of his car, this black guy walked over to me and said, hey, is such and such here? And I was like, no, I don't know who that is. He was like, oh, okay. So when I saw that, I said, why did he tap on the car And why did the guy walk to me after he tapped on the car? So I thought that was very strange. So again, this is my information. Now let me give you a teaching moment. When you're paranoid, the only way that you deal with paranoia is you have to catch it, check it, and change it. So when you're paranoid, in that instance, I'm gonna give you an example. I didn't know who these people were, so I have to catch those thoughts, catch the thoughts that I'm having about them. So then I have to check it. So if I check it, that means I need to get information that gives me the indication that these people are who I think they are. I didn't have enough evidence. If you don't have enough evidence for what you're thinking, then you need to change it. And that's how you deal with paranoia.
Okay, well, I wish it was that simple.
Boom.
He act like he dropped the mic. And it's not that simple.
Because don't nobody know who teaching you how to deal with paranoia? Tell me.
I wish it was that simple.
Yeah, but I use it now. If I look at her and I think she the FBI, I catch it and I check it and I change it. And then I can see her as being my lovely wife. Because when you see them as being the FBI, you don't trust them.
And then you get some medicine to help you with the paranoia.
I got some medicine called Loxapine, and it helps with paranoia. It helps.
Since then, it hasn't been.
He put me, my doctor, when I went to the psych ward and they saw how I was, they put me on that Loxapine.
It has helped tremendously.
It helped tremendously.
So,
paranoia is an emotion.
Can I talk?
And it's chemical based.
You're like doing a lot of talking today.
Well, I'm trying to teach the people.
So,
Pontificate.
now we at the graduation. We drive to the graduation. He didn't even want to go because remember we told you a couple weeks ago the whole situation. At this point, he's just still agitated and upset. So I'm like, Tyler.
You think they remember that? What happened?
A couple weeks ago.
They remember. The people watching this gonna remember that.
Yes, Chucky.
Well, what happened was I wasn't gonna get an extra ticket to the graduation, so I was pissed off and paranoid, and I went to this graduation.
Yes, we went to the graduation. So we ended up being in the overflow room. Is that what it's called?
First of all, it was a lot of police.
It was a lot.
A lot of police. I don't know why they was in there.
Because it was a graduation and it was kids.
It's a lot of black kids.
So it was a lot of police. But we went to what? You wanted to stay with me. That's why you didn't go in the other room.
Yeah, I ain't have a ticket for the other room.
You did.
Oh.
Yeah, he wanted me. Okay, come to find out, I could go because it was an overflow room. His mom let us know that I could go. So he was like, I want to stay with you. He needed to stay with me though.
Did you get a ticket?
No, I just went to the overflow room.
Oh, okay. You didn't need a ticket for that.
Nah, and so you just stayed with me, but he didn't. He needed to stay with me because of how paranoid he was. It was. I think this was the worst I had ever seen.
It was bad.
So everybody was just. He really. I wanted to get there, watch the graduation, and take a picture and leave because a conversation, anything was not. It was just really, really bad. So we sitting in the overflow room. So the overflow room, it's a big screen. It's not the actual, like you're inside of the actual graduation and you see it. You viewing it like a movie. Boy, I tell y'all, we sit there and he say, "This not real." I said, "What?"
I did.
He's like, "This not real. This not real. This is not a real. This pre-recorded." I said, "No, it is real. Like we're watching it. They're in the next room. We're watching it." And so he looking at the what do you call that?
The program.
The program. And he says, what was wrong with the program?
So they wasn't calling the kids in order.
Oh, that's what it was. They
Right.
wasn't calling them in order. That messed him up. When I say messed him up, it messed him up so much that he get up. I said, where you going? So I didn't want to miss it because he graduated. I'm like, I'm going to let him, wherever he's going, I'm just going to let him go and do that. Because I'm going to watch this boy walk across stage. So he actually left. I don't know, where did you go? Because
I went outside.
You just stood outside?
I went somewhere and I went to wait for him to come out. Because I wanted to see if he was going to come out. Okay. If he was really in there.
Well, I watched him go across the stage because I wasn't getting up following him with that.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so when it was over with, after I saw him cross the stage, I went to look for him before everybody left. came out, and I found them, and so I was just like, "What's going on?" He was like, "This don't add up. This don't make sense. All these police out here, it just super like he needs to go to the hospital."
See, remember this though. Before I went to the hospital, before that, the police came to my house. So when I see a policeman, it triggers me. It makes me feel some kind of way. It makes me feel angry and I want to fight them. That's what I was feeling.
And not safe.
And not safe. I don't feel like they're there to help me. I guess it's because it was a trigger. They came to take my son from me, so I'm pissed off. So when I saw him, I felt aggressive. I felt this aggression. So when I saw 20 policemen in the graduation, I'm already triggered now. I can't even be calm. My system is activated. So, you know, that's not good. But my mind was so like unstable trying to figure things out. Because again, when I looked at the screen, the way the visual, and this is another thing about paranoia. Visually, you see, you kind of see things different. Like, it's like you process it. I don't know. I don't understand it, but the way I looked at that screen, it looked tripped out. I was like,
I didn't think it was real.
I didn't think it was real.
I think it was pre-recorded, and he don't know what they had did with Tyler.
I didn't know what they did with Tyler. I thought that they had the graduation earlier.
Yeah.
And then they recorded it, and they had all the police up there because they didn't want me to do something.
It was a mess. So my job was, in that moment, after I saw Tyler, I said, okay, this is really bad. What I need to do is find Tyler when he comes out and get a picture. Because mind you, a couple weeks ago, him and his ex-wife, they wasn't speaking. It was bad. It was real bad. So I didn't even want to run into them. I wanted to.
And that's another thing. She didn't want to run into him because my son's stepfather is a policeman, and I approached him with aggression, and I want to do something to him.
I didn't want to run into them.
So she don't want to run into him because she didn't want me to do nothing or get hurt because he a policeman. And just because you're a police, just because you got a gun, don't mean you tough.
Oh my God.
I'm going to put that out there like that.
Anyway, my job was
you can still get it.
My job was to get a picture so we can remember this moment and get up out of here. Okay? So I'm looking for Tyler. I already told Tyler though, like, your dad's not well. He understands. He understood. And I was like, he's not well, so I need to get a picture and get out. Because at first we had got to the point where we wasn't gonna go. He didn't want to go. He didn't want to go to the graduation because of how paranoid he was. Not because he didn't want to see his son graduate. It was just so many mixed emotions. And we were actually fighting about you going to the graduation. I'm like, you going to the graduation.
And I didn't want to see Buddy.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. I was still feeling a certain kind of way because he told my son, F your dad, I'm your dad. So that really, it still sits in the back of my mind. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like even if I see him to this day, if I run into him, I'm going to say something to him. Like, that's how I feel.
But you're not.
But I try to avoid him, you know, because when I did approach him, he just skeeted off in the car and ran. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to deal with a real man. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway.
But anyway, I felt some kind of way going to that graduation, especially due to the fact that they was going to give his family a ticket and not my family. I was pissed off. You feel me?
So I told
So this one, let me tell you something to the baby mamas. The baby mamas need to watch how they treat these men. Because you know why? I really thought about something. And I saw myself in this situation. When you with a baby mama who want to use her power to control when you see your son and how you see your son and make decisions about another man being in that child's life, and you make the real father powerless, that's a real problem because the real father is faced with those difficult emotions. That's why I believe a lot of men don't want to be in their child's life because they don't know how to deal with these uncomfortable, strong emotions. So it's easier to avoid it. It's easier to just be done with it. It's hard to fight through that and still maintain a relationship with your child. So baby mamas, you need to stop it because you're hurting that child.
Okay.
And I have spoken.
You spoke a lot today.
Yes, very vocal.
Off on what we talking about. But
hey.
My point is that I had to get a picture and get out of that. So I found my baby. I found him. I was telling him how proud he was. I said, take a picture really quick. We gotta go because it's not good. He was like, okay. He understood. Took a picture. I took a picture with him and we left. So we're hungry. So I was like, Chucky, baby, what you want to eat? You said Red Lobster.
Right.
So I know right now wasn't the time to really go out because I have been out with him while he's paranoid. But he's irritable, very, very irritable. Keep questioning me about the graduation in the car. Like, so you mean to tell me that this was real? Like, like you really, like.
How would you feel if you didn't know what was real? I went to the doctor, and I'm sitting in a room, and I'm talking to psychologists and therapists and psychiatrists, and they asked me, "How do you feel?" And I said, "I don't know what's real." How would you deal with that? I just want to know, how would you feel being young and your mind is playing tricks on you? How would you feel?
I couldn't imagine.
Just imagine that feeling.
I can't imagine.
Imagine it.
But I was proud because I felt like job completed. I got a picture. The picture is gonna last forever. You know what I'm saying? And we got out. We didn't get into it with nobody. It was a safe. We just got out. And
Yeah, because see, that day with that type of anger and paranoia, his stepfather could have got hurt.
Anybody could have got it.
Anybody. He
So
really could have got
I
it.
was just grateful that the mission accomplished. That's how I felt when I got it.
And it's a teaching moment right here. I was talking to another gentleman about Chicago, a guy in Chicago in a gas station. 2 kids walked up to him and asked him something, just a real serious, like a little simple question. And the guy got paranoid and killed him. Just off of a question he asked.
You don't know what people dealing with.
You don't know what people, you just don't
Or
know.
what state of the mind.
You don't know what people thinking. You
What
really
state of
don't.
Because he didn't look like Chucky. I got a picture. I wish I could show y'all a picture.
I didn't look like what I was going through.
He didn't look like he was paranoid like that. He looked like his regular self. And
It's
so,
real.
I was just grateful. I was almost in tears in the car, like, oh, that was a lot. Like, we got through it. I got through it. Now we're gonna go get something to eat. So now he asked me what suburb are we in.
I didn't know where I was at.
And he didn't believe me. It was just so bad. I'm like, baby, you need to go to the hospital. The whole time I'm in the car, I learned that at this moment, how calm I have to be.
Yeah, she be real calm.
How
I be mad too. I be arguing.
He want to argue. He want to fight. He want to argue.
And I'm real aggressive.
You
so
wanna argue.
I know how to use my words. I'm very articulate. But you know what though? Shauna was kind of like, I don't know. I think God gave her a grace for me because I don't think the typical woman can deal with this. I think that this is very complicated, and I think that you have to it's like you almost have to have some type of emotional skill set to handle the complexities of dealing with these issues. Because how do you communicate with an individual who feels that you are against them, and you're supposed to instill love and trust, but the person don't trust you? That's really, so she dealt with so much in terms of being in a relationship. And then see, at that particular point, we wasn't even married. We wasn't even married. So I'm showing all these symptoms. I'm going to the hospital all these times. I'm getting triggered. All this stuff is happening, and we're not even married yet. So she could have easily said, nah, okay, I don't know, babe. She could have said, baby, maybe we should just take our time. Maybe we should let's just get things in order and take baby steps. She could have did that, but no, she was somehow able to look over the circumstances. She was able to see who I really was, because paranoia is not really who I am. The anger is not really who I am. These are just attributes. Every emotion has an expiration. So I don't walk around angry all the time. But if I get triggered, I might be angry for a couple days. If I get paranoid, I might be paranoid for a couple days to a week. But then it goes away. But she was able to see, okay, I know he's like this. Sometimes he's like this. And she was kind of weighing it like, well, I still love him. He's still a good man. He's still a good father. He loves me, and he has good intentions, even though he has these proclivities.
So we at the restaurant, and he's agitated, super put agitated. Agitated by everything, looking around. You know he wear these shades, but I'm watching him. I'm watching him look at people like they're watching him.
I was.
So I'm like, okay, he don't want to be here. Baby, we need to go to the hospital. He told me, I've been dealing with this by myself for 13 years, 14 years, whatever year it was that it was. And I don't need nobody to tell me when I need to go to the hospital. I said, oh, okay. So I shut up at that moment. I shut up and I was like, I'm not gonna say nothing. He gonna go because it's like falling apart. He's falling apart.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he gonna have to go. So at that moment, I know I didn't finish my food because he was so agitated. He thought that somebody was watching him at the next table.
Yeah, she had a phone underneath the table texting, so I thought it was like a signal.
So he was like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
He didn't say it like, he was like, I'm ready to go.
I walked out and this dude was walking real slow. So I'm thinking he was trying to show me some aggression. I'm thinking I'm finna get into it with him.
So we leave, and I said, baby, we need to go home. We need to go home. And, you need to go to the hospital. We need to go to the hospital. So he was like, I'm not going to the hospital. I don't want to be there. Them people crazy. I'm not going to the hospital. So I'm like, really? Like, you need to go. So all I know is that we going back and forth. And I was like, I'm not about to argue with him anymore. So we didn't argue. I tried to go to sleep. I didn't want to sleep with him though because he bothered me. How he was acting.
Right.
So all I know, you got up and was like,
we're not sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, you went on the couch. And
Yeah.
he was like, you know what? You kept pacing. You was
Yeah.
losing it. And he was like, I need to go to the hospital.
Now, I had just got out the hospital. So, I think I was out how many days?
That's a couple, maybe
Two.
three.
So I guess I left the hospital too early.
Definitely.
Now see, when you go to the hospital, sometimes they try to commit you for 5 days. But the doctor really want to stabilize you. I was trying to fight to get out. I was really trying to fight them because I don't like staying in there long. I used to stay in there long, like weeks or a
Since
month.
he yelled me, he'd be like,
Yeah, I really, yeah.
You be trying to get home.
But you know, it's the reason why. Look how you look. Look at the legs. Let me put the camera on you. But the thing is this. This is such a real thing because I had to adjust to the medication change, and I had to learn some new coping strategies to deal with. Because at that particular point, I'm triggered because of the police coming to take my son. So now I'm angry. That's angering me. And then the fact that Shauna had to fight for me to be able to see my son more frequently, because at first we were seeing him every weekend. Then it changed from that to being every 2 weeks. And then it got into a legal issue because I wanted to use the law to try to see my son. So it was a real stressful time. And again, we wasn't married yet. So we dealing with that, and our wedding was coming up. We was still paying on our wedding and paying for stuff and all this stuff we was doing, but all these stressors, I'm talking about stress after stress. So Shauna definitely, she a rider. You know what I'm saying? She really is, and I'm so blessed to be able to have her. Because now, even though I'm bipolar with psychotic features, and I go through paranoia, mania, depression, hallucination, which is a mouthful, and it sounds like I'm saying it so simple, like it's easy to deal with. It's really not. It's some real stuff. And we have learned how to work with it together because Shauna is a big component to my support system. And I think the support system really determines how well you can actually do. You know, because now my life is way better than it was prior to being with Shauna. And I attribute my stability and with the VA help, but really coming home every day, because the VA is not here every day. But I have love and support every day. And I think that right there is changing my life.
Well, that's sweet.
It's the truth.
But
Because if I didn't have this, before her, I had medicine. Before her, I talked to the psychiatrist and the psychologist. But I was still not able to go to the next level. I wasn't able to deal with the gambling addiction. I was able to deal with my gambling addiction with her. So now I'm living a life where I'm finna go get this bag.
Well, that's it. That's our time.
All right. Hey, tune in WVON 1690 AM every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Live, Breathe Mental Health. You can go to bipolarpreacher.com to check us out, and also you can go to livebreathementalhealth.com. Follow us. Let us know if you want our books, if you want us to speak, whatever you want. Let us know. We here. If you got a family member struggling, we here to listen. Anything you want to, find out about. I don't have all the answers, but I do have enough solutions to deal with this complexity. God bless y'all.
Bye.
Have a good day.